right, welcome back to Top 5 Vinyl, where we show love to vinyl owners. Today I have Rachel. How's it going, Rachel?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hmm. Amazing artist. I understand you have some work at the Smithsonian.
I do. My earrings are sold at the Smithsonian, and my artwork can be seen at galleries around the country as well.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And you have an Instagram page they can follow you on also?
I do. It's Rachel Stewart Arts, and I follow back. So please follow me and check out all my work, my jewelry, and my art.
Nice, nice, nice. And before we officially get started, I want everybody to subscribe, like the channel, tell your friends, all that cool stuff you guys got to do on YouTube. With that being said, Rachel, can you tell me the first vinyl record that you ever bought?
Yes. The first vinyl record I ever bought with my money was Glenn Campbell.
Mm,
He's a clarinet player
mm,
from, I think, the 30s. I played clarinet in school, and I saw that album at the thrift store with my
mm,
grandmother, and I saw that he played clarinet, and I had to have it. And that's the first record I ever bought with my own money, and I think that was the early 80s.
okay.
Yeah,
Do you still own that vinyl?
no, I wish I
Mm,
still had it.
mm, okay. When you were like collecting vinyl like at your peak, did you have a favorite record store or favorite place to buy vinyl records from?
You know, when I hear people talk about collecting vinyl, that's kind of I gotta remember that I would be classified as that now. But when I was buying records, I wasn't collecting them.
Right.
I mean, I grew up in the 80s. I'm 51, so I wasn't collecting them. That was just how you listen to your music.
Exactly.
So, but as a collector, you're saying what stores that I like to go to? Well, we had record stores.
Mm,
We had the Camelot Musics and all that. We had record stores where there was only records in there.
mm,
Go to the mall, and then as I got older and albums became more obsolete,
right.
we turned to thrift stores.
Mm.
I've always gone to since I was a little girl with my mother and my grandmother. So I knew, hey, I can't buy albums at the mall anymore. I know they're at the thrift store, so that
Mm,
became a place to go.
mm. So growing up with the music in the house, was the record player like off limits, on limits? Could you touch the record player?
You know what's funny about that is my mother didn't have any music in the house.
Mm,
My father was a musician,
mm,
and they didn't live together. So I didn't grow up with music in my home.
mm,
My aunt is the one who had all the records, and
mm,
she's the person who gave me an opportunity to explore my music taste because she had a very eclectic taste. So I didn't have music in the house. I
mm.
had my little red radio I kept in my bedroom,
Right.
but I didn't, it wasn't a house full of music. And a lot of people might assume that because people that know me know that I am a big music fan
Mm,
and I know a lot about music, but I didn't grow up with music in the house. It's
mm.
something I got natural from my father.
Okay. As
Mhm.
far as your aunt, do you remember what kind of stuff she was listening to?
R&B.
Mm.
R&B and smooth jazz
Hmm.
and that's she's actually the person who got me really into smooth jazz, which I
Mm.
still love to this day.
Nice. Okay. Of the five that you're going to show us in a few moments, have you seen any of your top five perform live before?
Uh, I have. I have.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. And hmm, in a single trip to the record store, how many pieces of vinyl do you think you walked out with at most?
You know, I have not come across a record store where their selection was so great. I came out with, you know, 20, 30 records. I
Right.
may look up and find two or three good records
Hmm.
any place I've ever been in.
Right.
So yeah, I've never had a huge haul. This is
Okay.
my records are records that I've had since I was a child, and I've
Hmm.
slowly bought over the years for sentimental reasons.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. I understand. Okay. And Rachel, with that being said, this is top five vinyl. Can you share the number five, your fifth album you have in front of you right now?
All right. My number five.
Yes, number five.
Okay, my number five is Just Ice, back
Hmm.
old school.
Hmm.
Now, The reason why I first loved this album was because of the cover.
Hmm.
I'm an artist, and this cover fascinated me. And this is an album that really inspired me to start drawing in more of a graffiti style when I
Hmm.
was in school. So yeah, and Mantronics produced
Hmm.
like almost the whole thing. I think he did the whole album. So yeah, this is a very important album in hip hop, but also for artists at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, cover like this.
Nice.
Hmm.
Is there any artwork in the back of that album?
No, just pictures of Just Vice and Mantronics.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Favorite song on the album?
Probably, I'm gonna tell you, Latoya.
Ha, okay.
Okay, if anybody knows what Latoya is about, it's a that was a thing back then. Every hip hop artist had a song about a skeezer.
Hmm.
So this Latoya was the skeezer for this particular artist. You know, we had those types of songs out back then. We
Right,
didn't really
right.
take offense to it until we got older. But yeah, yeah, the Dear Vets and the Latoyas, yes, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's your number five. Let's go ahead and take a look at your number four.
Number four is my favorite hip hop group,
Mm.
Houdini.
Hmm.
This is my favorite hip hop album of all time, Back in Black. It doesn't get a lot of people don't talk about it as much as they should. It's very influential album. Namely, Funky Beat. That was a huge, huge song for them.
Hmm.
So, I this is my favorite album,
Mm. Mm.
hip hop album.
Nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
they had a good sound, a lot of
Yeah,
good beats, lyrics. Yeah, they were official.
yeah, and they are some of the founders of hip hop.
Hmm. Hmm.
Don't give them their props enough.
Hmm.
I do. I tell everybody this is the album, and it's a good album to revisit. If you weren't particularly a big fan of them back in the day, this is a good album to revisit.
Mm, absolutely. Okay. All right, cool. So that was your number four.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take a look at your number three.
Number three is George Benson, In Your
Mm.
Eyes. The reason why I love this album is because he has a duet up there with Shaka Khan.
Mm.
And it didn't go very far, but it's a beautiful song. It's a very unique song. And I think if you want to hear unheard Shaka Khan songs, check out Love Will Come Again from this album. This is a song you might not have heard of, but if you did hear it, you might not have known it was a duet with George Benson and Shaka Khan.
Mm. Nice.
And
No.
Inside Love is up here. That's one of his best songs, in my opinion.
Hmm. Hmm. Now we've seen five, four, and three. Have you seen any of the five, four, and three live?
I have not,
Okay, okay,
unfortunately.
okay. So that was your number three.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take a look at your number two.
Number two, my main man, Michael Henderson, the late
Mm.
Michael Henderson. Everybody that knows me knows that this is my favorite artist, hands down,
Mm.
best bass player, a prodigy who was playing with Miles Davis and all sorts of greats as a teenager.
Mm.
So the song up here that is the title song, which is the one that I first heard from him, Going Places, my favorite song. He's a fantastic everything.
Mm.
Unfortunately, he passed away not too long ago, and I never got a chance to meet him, but I did get a chance to chat with him back in the MySpace days.
Hmm. Hmm.
I got in touch with him via MySpace, and we had a few back and forths, and I was planning to try to come and see him, but I
Mm.
never did. But
Oh, that
yeah,
stinks.
this is I have actually several copies of this album.
Mm.
Anytime I see this album, I get it.
That's awesome. Okay. And Rachel, for the
Uh-oh.
grand finale, what do we have for number one?
Number one, Herbie Hancock, Light Me
Mm.
Up.
Mm.
The reason I love this album is because another one of my favorite writers, producers of all time, Rod Temperton, had his hand all over this album.
Mm.
He wrote and did arrangements for most of the songs on this album. Patrice Rushen is also up here.
Mm.
I think Patty Austin is also up here. It's just an It's not a traditional jazz album. This is one of the albums Herbie did where he was doing a contemporary. Um, what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but it's not a Herbie Hancock traditional jazz album, which
Okay.
is what I like about it. It's got a
Mm,
lot of electronic sounds on it.
hmm.
Rod Temperton played a big hand in this album, and that's why I love it so much.
Nice. All right, cool. Well, Rachel, I just want to thank you so much for your time and letting us see your top five.
You're welcome, and it was a pleasure to talk about music with you. I must say that I wasn't up here long enough.
No, it's quite all
I need
right.
about 3 hours.
You funny.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do have one bonus album real quick.
Oh yeah, let's see it. What do you have over
Okay.
there?
The Power Station with one of
Mm,
my favorite singers, Robert Palmer, who passed
mm,
away a few decades ago. But I think he gave his best vocal performances on this album with
mm,
some like Hot and Bang a Gong. This is one of my favorites.
mm. Nice, nice, nice bonus.
Yes, it's a fantastic album. And
Okay.
two ex-members of Duran Duran are
Mm,
also in this group. Fantastic album.
mm. Cool. Okay, okay, okay. Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of
Bye, everybody.
course.